Welcome back, everybody. It's Rudy with Alpha Investments. Welcome to February of 2020. Rudy, is Magic dead? Is everything gone to crap? Isn't he? No, calm down. Everybody relax. The end is not near. We're not. It's just okay. Ton of news to go over today. Want to talk about the state of everything. Want to go through. I got a list of things to talk about with you all. Sit back, relax, sniff some Magic card ink. And we got everything from Theros to Commanders to Brawls to Modern Horizons and Unsanctions and Mysteries and Valentine's Day and Reserve List, Secret Lairs inside your pants and Ravnicas and Pine. There's so much crap. So yeah, calm down. We're going to yip yap together, hold hands, and pretend we're both carrots and we're out in the meadow together. Start with the obvious. Start with the old Theros Beyond Death, everyone. I'm going to get it right out of the way, right up front. So, for the first time ever in 8 to 9 years, probably since 2011, and of course been on YouTube for 4 years, I am actually considering skipping completely the Theros Beyond Death regular standard booster boxes for $79.99 to patrons, and waiting for the next set after it, Ikoria. Now again, let me explain why before anyone gets happy, angry, and just runs outside and screams at people driving too quick. Slow down! You know, one of those things, old man Rudy. The rationale behind it is, I have a genuine concern for the first time in many, many years because of the value of the set and the impact of the side effects of the collector's boxes has decimated the Theros standard booster boxes. I currently do not own a single Theros regular booster box. I actually had a distributor offer me an early pallet of 400 or 500 boxes, even during allocation period, you know, at the normal $78 a box type thing, and I respectfully decline. That's allocation launch boxes during the regulated supply window. The fact is this: TCG Mid, which is a very loosey-goosey number as it is showing Theros Beyond Death standard booster boxes with an expected value between $70 and $75 a box. Which means, take off 15%, you're probably going to net $60 a box right now. And this is as good as it's going to get in the short term. So, my fear is that in the next 90 days, when the floodgates are actually opened, and everybody's allowed to order anything they want from Theros, assuming that Wizards actually holds the full 60-day allocation, which I think they're not going to. I think it's going to be broken early this time around, similar to Core 2019. When the full supply starts to enter the market, there's a chance that it goes down to like $40, $50 expected value. I think 50 would probably be the stabilizing low. And then eventually, as time goes on, other sets, you'll have some card spikes and some reinflation in value after the Theros collector's boxes flush through the system. And I think we can get back up to 60, 70. It's very weak. I haven't seen something like this since probably, Born of the Gods or, original Theros, holding true to that name. And of obviously, the Dragon's Maze type era. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty, very, very discouraging. The problem is, for example, if before YouTube and I was like, if I wasn't doing YouTube right now and I had 300-400 boxes of the new Theros show up, I'm 120 boxes in doing a mass box opening, and I go on the computer and I'm clickety-clicking. And I went, oh my goodness. If I saw the prices, I'd shut it down right there. I would either keep the rest of the boxes sealed or sell them locally or sell them on eBay and make $1 a box after shipping and fees. I would just I'd be backing away right now to hedge that risk. The risk is now so high trying to flip single cards in the standard boxes that it does not justify the small reward. Why take a large block of risk with a tiny block of reward? You want it the other way around. So it's inverse where it needs to be. So, this brings me to the Theros collector's boxes. So obviously, first things first for the patrons, I'm actually still getting Theros collector's boxes from other stores and distributors. The distributors are having other stores not pay the bills, and after the 7 to 10 day lock-in that was allocated for a store, other stores are not taking the product, and they're coming back available. And of course, you contact Rudy the Liquidator type thing, and I'm getting contacted to scoop up the rest. So I'm going to be very blunt with everybody. I am going to continue to try to build a large position in the Theros collector's boxes, the same thing I did with the Throne collector's boxes. I have not changed my opinion on the short term, attitude of the collector's boxes, but I think long term, it will be a collectible type product similar to collecting the Master Series or the Dual Deck Series or a Core Set Series. I do believe it will be a nice sealed collectible long-term product. The value in the collector boxes is obviously so high, it just wrecked the standard box. And if you can buy collector's boxes, there's people, the average people are contacting me telling me that retail stores in their local cities are selling them for between $240 and $250 plus tax. So let's just make it an even $240. Pretend there's no tax if you're buying local. The average expected value of a collector's box just from opening it and flipping the singles is so high. That is what's creating that downward falling knife pressure in crushing the standard boxes. Because you have that overlay where you get the same cards in both products, it's now made the collector box. I mean, if I was running my mass box opening and I didn't do anything with YouTube or online, you guys didn't know my creepiness existed, I would be straight up just going all collector boxes, cracking them all, flipping singles. Because I believe, even right now, the expected value of collector boxes are what? 200 on the low, 300 average, 400 on the high, depending on your pull rates and everything. And again, I don't expect those numbers to hold. By the time you watch this, it could be down another 10%, down 40%, or up. Who knows where it's going to land. But the risk is a lot lower with a lot higher spread on the return for the collector's box. And that's what I'm saying. In other words, if you open a regular Theros booster box and you pay $90 to $100 like they're selling for, the most stores sell for $100 plus tax locally, and online it's what, $95 plus tax now, which is going to bring me to the next thing about the internet and the enforcement of these taxes. So when you look at that, I mean, I don't know about you, but would you rather have 2 to 3 standard collector boxes, or would you go for the sorry, I'm messing this up. 2 or 3 standards, $100 boxes for $300, or would you buy one collector's box for $250 at your local store? So, your yield for the single card value is going to be tough to beat because of what's happening with the whole mythics and the pull rates and everything. Sorry, so that was a long ramble on this Theros thing. It's going to be a very interesting path to see how things stabilize and unfold. It's still a little too early. We're going to need another 30 days to see where the market levels out, to see if the collector's boxes continue to tank. Do they stay where they are? Do they push back to 250 plus? Again, remember, the supply that's coming now is it. There's not more restocks. There's no allocation period. What you see as far as collector's product goes, the boxes, I don't care about the loose packs, blister packs. The collector's boxes, what you see is what was made. So, this leads me to the next little thing I wanted to bring up. The taxes, as you can see, I've been getting a lot more patrons, a lot more local business, a lot more people who they're contacting direct to do direct business, and that is coming from, I think, a side effect of the enforcement of because you have to understand, when you enforce, if I live in Florida and I buy a $100 box, or I'm sorry, let's use a collector's box. If I buy a $230 collector's box on eBay, and it's from California, and I got to pay $20 in fees in taxes to California, I'm actually going to be paying, $250 or something. And then, the store selling from California doesn't get any bonus from that. They still have to ship the product. So now there's shipping and taxes on top of the product. Remember, back in the day, it was always, well, at least you don't pay tax doing, non-state to state transactions, but you pay shipping. So at least you just have shipping instead of tax. But now that you have shipping and tax, it is truly changing the dynamic of buyers and sellers online. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that unfolds. Because, even, people say that all the time. Well, Rudy, if I spend $1,000 on eBay, my goodness, there's some states that are charging me $100 in taxes on $1,000. And then I still have to wait and have it shipped to me. So you're seeing a lot of the movement starting to change here. I know this is a long ramble. Hope you guys are still with me. So now we're going to go to the next thing here. Let's jump over to the Patron stuff real quick. So first thing, I wanted to say, obviously, Valentine's Day, I'm going to have my first non-magic variety kit. I don't know if it's going to be the Argent Saga, if we'll have that one ready, or if we're going to do the Buddy Fights, Card Fight, Vanguard, Flesh and Blood. We're going to have our first variety kit for a Valentine's Day special in a couple weeks here. We'll figure out the exact one here coming up. The point is, it'll be very exciting, something different, And either way, we're going to eventually have all the variety kits, but we're gonna spread them out over a couple months. So we are going to have our non-Magic the Gathering variety kit. They're always huge successes between the past when I've done different ones with Pokemon, with Force of Will. The variety kits are always a huge success, especially because the prices compared to buying on eBay is just so much lower. You get to experience so many products, and you pay such a discounted rate. It doesn't matter if you don't like a certain product and you really like the other product. The fact you can get it all for half the price of eBay is really, it's a huge win for trying something new with a lot less risk. So that'll be coming. So as far as sales this month for the patrons, obviously we have our Throne of Eldraine, the War of the Spark, the core set. We've got all the $79.99 shipped. Everything's the same. I do have the Modern Horizons. I've got an extra batch of it, and it's about $166 a box by the case shipped. So whatever that comes out to, 166 and a couple pennies. You already got the message, and that's shipped to your door. It'll be over, obviously since it's over $750, according to PayPal, we'll have the signature confirmation. You have to sign for it for safety. Next, also, like I said, as these Theros collector's boxes become available from other stores not paying their bills, I am going to try to continue to scoop them and keep them in stock for people who do want them. Obviously, whatever doesn't sell, I'm just going to keep for myself. Either way, I am still going to continue to go after the product the same way I did with Throne of Eldraine. There's nothing really out in the open market. There's nobody else out there or any other business that's going to try to convince me to stop buying it. Rudy's going to go bankrupt. It's all garbage. It's going to zero. The end is near. I don't care what anyone says. I'm staying the course. I am the flippin' Titanic. I stay straight until I literally at the bottom of the ocean don't care. I'm going straight. Headwinds, bad weather, I'm staying the course. I don't care. I learned my lesson from Kaladesh Aether. I learned my lesson. I don't care how bad it is, I'm staying the course, everybody. So people have been asking me a lot also with unsanctioned. I'm on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to offer that to the patrons there, and was it a 30, 60, 90 day, whenever it's coming out, 30, 60 days. I'm on the fence about it. These small supplemental board game type products scare the crap out of me every time. They always make me nervous because they have a tendency to not get the print runs right. The prices slop around. It makes me very, very nervous. I'm on the fence on carrying that. As of right now, I'm leaning towards no and waiting to see what happens and then watching the market afterwards. Similar feelings as I did with the Brawl decks. It wasn't a bad product, but it just makes me nervous since a lot of the cards can be found in collector's boxes. There's overlap, and the Brawl decks, which by the way, I guess distributors actually sold out. The Brawl decks are pretty much gone everywhere, is from what I gathered, out of nowhere. I thought they were super heavily printed like Commander 2019, and apparently they just disappeared. That's how Magic works. It's a crappy product, nobody wants it, it's printed to oblivion. All of a sudden you wake up one day, they're gone everywhere, and the price is probably going to start moving in the next 90 days, and people are going to go, oh crap. Which brings me to the Commander 2019 topic. I said a lot of news today. Keep up, everybody. Commander 2019, obviously it is out of print, but all the distributors still have stock of it left. I do also have that, on the per case special with the Theros, with the Modern Horizons, for people who just want some different stuff. You can buy a case of the Commander 2019. I think I have it at $109 shipped, but you have to buy it by the case, which is it's like a big sealed outer case. Obviously, if you're a patron, just log in and you can look at the product list for the month. Anyway, so other news, people are asking about mystery boxes. As of right now, mystery boxes are WPN only exclusive. Unfortunately, obviously, no matter how much people lie, we joke, you guys know I do not work with Wizards Direct. I do not host tournaments at any of these stores or locations, anything I have ownership in. I do not actually host any form of tournaments and report to Wizards. Therefore, again, I know it's a big meme and joke, but remember, I am not a WPN store, so as of right now, I have been told I cannot order the mystery boxes. I don't know if that'll change on future reprints and how it's going to go, but as of right now, I do not have access to that product. Same thing with the buy a box promos and all this other stuff with WPN stores. I do not get those products. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens. So that's about it with that. I want to jump over again to some of the other funkiness. So Pioneer continues to be a really hot thing. Reserve list continues to be a really weak, very just groggy bear market. It is what it is. The secret lair thing continues to be a very negative, angry, pissing off store owners, distributors. It continues to be a very sensitive topic. I don't have thousands of secret layers. You know, if I was somehow able to at a good price, I'd consider it. But as of right now, it's not something that I really spend a lot of time thinking about. Apparently, a lot of people were able to flip them and they're just buying it now. I guess the new meme I'm being told is just secret layer. You buy a ton of them, and then after it's over with, you wait a week and you just flip them all and double your money. That seems to be the concept. So I don't know how many people are actually collecting and hoarding them versus just let's just flip it real quick and walk away and thanks for the money, which is, you know, who knows how that's going to go. I assume secret layer is going to be around for a while because it's easy money for wizards. So last thing I want to talk about here is the Patreon thing as a whole. For those of you who've been around for a while or internally and you get all the market updates and everything privately, I appreciate all the support to all of you. Just about 4,000 patrons. And I just wanted to lay out there because I know not many people watch this late in the video, so I think it's a good time to discuss something like this. I'm in the process. I'm either thinking next month or the month after, I'm going to go ahead and close the remainder slots on my Patreon account to kind of lock everything in. And then I think I've decided that most likely I'm going to create one new Patreon slot. Instead of $15 for people to buy cheap boxes and everything, I think I'm going to have a new slot for either I'm thinking maybe $17.99 a month or just $18, make an even number. So it'll be slightly higher. The reason for this, number one, it'll reward, instead of raising prices of boxes, it's going to reward all the current patrons who are already locked in with the same price, with no price increase. Because I thought I could leave everything alone, and instead of selling boxes for $80, I can sell them for $81. But I didn't think at this point in time, it didn't quite feel right to raise prices on people who've been a patron all along versus let them enjoy the same price for being loyal and supporting me, for those of you out there. And then anyone who's jumping in now, they have to jump in at a higher price. I thought that was a better angle. And again, that may change in the future, but as of right now, that's kind of, I want to keep everything the same and kind of stay the course. Obviously, I'm bringing that up because, you know, the cost of shipping, again, if those of you don't know, January 26th, the post office raised prices again. So I'm paying another 50 cents to $1 per box I ship. In addition, word on the street is within the next 12 to 18 months, Wizards is going to raise prices again. So which means, you know, my cost for a box, instead of being $77.90, is probably going to go to $79 or $80. So instead of losing maybe $5, $6 a box, you know, depending on the quantity and the shipping and the combined shipping, you know, it may end up going to the point where, you know, one box order could be a full, you know, $13 loss for a $10 patron. You see what I'm saying? So I have to pay attention and be very strict on that stuff and be very careful with it, because the amount of money that moves around, you got to monitor it very closely. So again, that's about it. Shameless Rudy plug. If you've ever considered supporting me and you like the information and learning and the finance and everything in the videos, you know, obviously I always appreciate it. And if, again, all the patrons, you're the ones, and you're the reason these videos exist. And I'm able to put all that time to, you know, making these fun things to discuss and share the crazy swings and the market updates and the finance and the whiteboards and the story time. And makes it a lot of fun and a lot of learning for everybody. So that's about it. I think that's everything on the list. I don't think I missed anything specifically. Oh, yeah, one final thing I'll swing back to. I think what's amazing to me is Theros is selling still very well because it's new. But again, after the newness goes away, what's amazing to me is Throne of Eldraine continues to sell absolutely incredible. I mean, I have to admit, I think Throne of Eldraine may go down as the highest number of boxes I've ever sold of a standard Magic set ever in the 4 years I've been on YouTube. I am just blown away by the demand for Throne. And with that much supply and people buying it, the expected value and the value of the cards in the set, it holds up and it can take the hit. I just want to lay that comment out at the end of this video here because it blows my mind. I cannot believe how well Throne of Eldraine is just selling and the market is accepting it. Same thing with the Ravnica sets, which are, you know, long gone at this point. Just blows my mind how some of these products are just like War of the Spark, by the way, but the Throne of Eldraine is just something else, everybody. So that's all I got. Hope you guys learned something today. Take the information what you will, and of course, always be careful. Don't blow your money. Think about things. Don't be a Timmy. Don't be emotional. Be patient. Wait for the sales. Wait for good deals, and be careful with everything. That's all I got. Have a great day. Thanks again, everybody.